Hi guys, welcome back. Another Brothers Grimm tale, and this is Rumpilstiltskin, though there is an earlier tale, and it's called Tom Tit Tat that I've already uploaded, but this is the traditional Rumpilstiltskin. There was once a miller who was very poor, but he had a beautiful daughter. Now, it fell out that he had occasion to speak with the king, and in order to give himself an air of importance, he said, "I have a daughter who can spin gold out of straw." The king said to the miller, "That is an art. It's an art in which I'm much interested. If your daughter is so skillful as you say she is, bring her to my castle tomorrow, and I will put her to the test." Accordingly, when the girl was brought to the castle, the king conducted her to the chamber, which was quite full of straw, gave her a spinning wheel and a winder, and said, "Now set to work, and if between tonight and tomorrow at dawn you have not spun this straw into gold, you must die." Thereupon he carefully locked the door of the chamber, and she remained there alone. There sat the unfortunate miller's daughter, and for the life of her she did not know what to do. She had not the least idea how to spin straw into gold, and she became more and more distressed until she began to weep. Then, all at once, the door sprang open, and in stepped a little mannikin who said, "Good evening, Mistress Miller. What are you weeping? You're weeping so for? Why?" "Alas," answered the maiden, "I've got to spin gold out of straw, and I don't know how to do it." Then the mannikin said, "If I do it, what will you give me if I do spin for you?" "My necklace," said the maid. The little man took the necklace, and then he did what he does best. He sat down and began spinning the wheel, and whir, in a trice, and the reel was full. Then he fixed another reel, and whir, thrice round this time, and that was full. And so it went on till morning, when all the straw was spun and all the reels were full of gold. Immediately at sunrise the king came, and when he saw the gold he was astonished and much pleased, but his mind became only the more avaricious. So he had the miller's daughter taken to another chamber, larger than the former one, full of straw, and he ordered her to spin it also in one night, if she valued her life. The maiden was at wit's end and began to weep. The door again sprang open, and the little mannikin appeared and said, "What will you give me if I spin the straw into gold for you?" "The ring of my finger," answered the maiden. The little man took the ring and began to whir again at the wheel, and by morning spun all the straw into gold. The king was delighted at the sight of the masses of gold, but was not even satisfied yet. So he had the miller's daughter taken to still a larger chamber, full of straw, and said, "This must you tonight spin into gold, but if you succeed, you shall become my queen." "Even if she is only a miller's daughter," thought he, "I shan't find a richer woman in the whole wide world." When the girl was alone, the little man came again, and said for the third time, "What will you give me if I spin the straw for you this time?" "I have nothing more that I can give," answered the girl. "Well, promise me your first child if you become queen." "Who knows what may happen," thought the miller's daughter, but she did not see any other way of getting out of the difficulty, So she promised the little man that he demanded, and in return he spun the straw into gold once more. When the king came in the morning and found everything as he had wished, he celebrated his marriage with her, and the miller's daughter became queen. About a year afterwards, a beautiful child was born, but the queen had forgotten all about the little man. However, he suddenly entered the chamber and said, "Now give me what you promised." The queen was terrified and offered the little man all the wealth of the kingdom if he would let her keep the child. But the mannikin said, "No, I would rather have some living thing than all the treasures of the world." Then the queen began to moan and weep to such an extent that the little man felt sorry for her. "I will give you 3 days," said he, "and if within that time you can discover my name, you shall keep the child." Then during the night the queen called to mind all the names that she had ever heard, and sent a messenger all over the country to inquire far and wide what other names there were. When the little man came on the next day, she began with Caspar, Melchior, Balzer, and mentioned all the names which she knew, one after the other, but at every one the little man said, "No, that's not my name." The second day she had inquiries made all around the neighbourhood for names of people living there, and suggested to the little man all the most unusual names she could conjure up, and all the strange ones which people don't often think of. "Perhaps your name is Cowribs, Spindleshanks, Spiderlegs." But he answered every time, "No, that's not my name." On the third day the messenger came back and said, "I haven't been able to find the new names, but as I came round the corner of a wood on a lofty mountain where the fox says good night to the hare, I saw a little house, and in front of the house a fire was burning, and around the fire an incredibly ridiculous little man was leaping, hopping on one leg. He was singing, 'Today I bake, tomorrow I brew my beer, the next day I will bring the queen's child here. Ah, look it is that not a soul doth know that Rumpilstiltskin is my name, ho, ho.'" Then you can imagine how delighted the queen was when she heard the name. And presently afterwards the little man came in and asked, "Now, your majesty, what is my name?" At first she asked, "Is it Tom?" "No." "Is it Dick?" "No." "Is it, by chance, Rumpelstiltskin?" "The devil told you that! The devil told you that!" shrieked the little man, and in his rage stamped his right foot into the ground so deep that he sank up to his waist. Then in passion he seized his left leg with both hands and tore himself asunder right down the middle, meaning that Rumpelstiltskin had indeed taken his own life through his own fury. And that's the traditional story of Rumpelstiltskin. Thank you for listening. It's by the Brothers Grimm.